This universe is managed by the powerful law of attraction. And what that means is, when you offer a vibration, what matches it comes to it. So can you even begin to imagine? It's not easy for you from your physical format. What must be amassing around the source energy part of you? The part of you that only focuses upon love and well-being and expansion. Can you imagine what that vortex of creation must be like that is swirling? That's what eternity is based upon. It is physical beings coming forth and exploring and knowing what they don't want, and then more clearly sending a vibrational rocket of desire about what they do want. And when that rocket of desire emanates from you, the source part of you receives that rocket and becomes it vibrationally and literally, and holds steady to that newly amended asking eternally. And when that occurs, law of attraction then begins to amass all compatible components. So hear this. So here you are, billions of you, banging around together, knowing what you don't want, sending out rockets of what you do want. So let's say your planet's in a bit of upheaval, maybe economic, which causes you to ask for more stability. Maybe ecological, which causes you to ask for more stability. Maybe some of the peoples of your planet are warring, making you ask for more harmony. So as you are asking, billions of you, for more stability, for more well-being, for more harmony, the source energy part of you is receiving each and every one of those requests and holding it as the eternal promise of your future. And this is the part that we really, really want you to hear. Law of attraction responding to those requests. Law of attraction responding to that focused, pure asking. Law of attraction's response is causing an assembling of all cooperative components. This is something that most of our physical friends have a hard time wrapping their thoughts around, because you are so physically oriented. You are so accustomed to looking at the knock on wood, what I can see and hear and smell and taste and touch, aspects of your environment, that you miss sometimes altogether the fact that you are, and everything else is, and everyone else is, a vibrational being. Everything is vibrational. And so when these rockets of desires emanate from you, leading edge creators out here on the leading edge of thought, when those rockets of desires emanate from you, source receives them and becomes them, and a vibrational vortex of creation is assembled. We're not kidding you. It must happen. It always happens before there is ever any physical manifestation. When you try to tell the story of how your earth came to be, you're not even close to understanding that everything is vibrational first. Everything is thought, focused thought. And when focused thought is held longer, it becomes form. It becomes the material, manifestational world that you know. So when we speak to you today, all day, and we will, about these rockets of desire and about this vibrational vortex of creation that is assembling on your behalf, we want you to understand that this is not some airy-fairy metaphysical talk of some dead person who understands vibration and is trying to make some fairy tale to make it easier for you to understand the concept of it. This vortex, this vibrational vortex, is a reality that is the precursor of everything that you know to be reality. It's not something to be sloughed off. It is vivid and real. What you are asking for has been answered and is done. And all cooperative components have been vibrationally assembled. The question that you really want to ask yourself, am I, in my physical body, having banged around and having known what I don't want and having asked and asked and asked and asked, and now source and non-physical and law of attraction have assembled all cooperative components? Am I a cooperative component? Am I in a vibrational stance that this vortex can take me in and show me the answer, show me the answers to my questions and the solutions to my problems, show me the manifestations to what I have carved out of my life experience? And the answer is held in the way you feel in any moment in time. If you are full of love, you're in the vortex. You're in the vortex and you are seeing the obvious unfolding. The next logical step just keeps showing up for you. You're in the right place at the right time. You rendezvous with the right people. You're having fun along the way. New ideas keep being born. You never have a moment's doubt. You are knowing who you are. You are feeling the confidence of your being. You are tuned in, tapped in, turned on. You're in love with life. You're in love with others. You love yourself. You're thriving in all possible ways. You're in the vortex. But if you're not in the vortex, if you feel fear, you're not anywhere near it. If you feel hate and anger, you're not anywhere near it. If you're overwhelmed, you're not anywhere near it. Well, you're closer, but still not close enough to get in it. When you feel hope now, when you feel hope, you're on the brink of being inside this vibration. When you feel hope, in fact, this vortex of attraction is strong enough that in hope, which has very little resistance in it, the vortex will take you in and show you something so vivid that your hope will move right to belief immediately. And if you can sustain belief, then you can sustain being in the vortex. And when you sustain a period of time of being vibrationally aligned enough that you are allowing yourself, by law of attraction, to be inside this vortex, now things are showing up for you. And people who are watching you, whether they're in the vortex or not, people are noticing big things are happening with you. They say, why are you the lucky one? Why do you always get what you want? Why do things always work out for you? Why do you sing like an angel? Why do you have clarity? Why does your body move in the way that it does? Why is health yours, always yours? Why are you always vital and alive? Why do you feel so good? Why is your humor so on target? Why do people like to be around you so much? Why are you so loving all the time? Why do you feel so much love from others? Why are you always living the best of life? And if you really want to help them out, you'll say, I figured out how to focus myself by paying attention to the way I feel, close enough to my vortex of creation that it takes me in often and shows me the very good life that I have carved out of all that I have lived. When you are in this vortex of creation, you are living as you've intended to be. So we want to show you how to get in. And we want to show you how to sustain being there as long as you can. In other words, once you get in, we want you to milk it and stay in. Because the longer you are in there, the more of what you've been asking for can be revealed and received by you. But we do not want to give you the impression that it is your job to always and only be in the vortex. If that were your intention, you would have remained dead like us. If that were your intention, you would have remained only this pure positive energy that's always in the vortex. But you came forth with the intention of sometimes stepping out of the vortex into the contrast to know what you don't want so that you can know what you do want. You just did not one of you ever intend to make a lifetime career of being out of the vortex. You didn't plan on making it a career to be in the step one phase. And step one is ask. And contrast induces the asking. What you did plan was to step out into the real world long enough to see the contrasting elements of it in order to decipher what you want, in order to give birth to what you want. But you intended, every one of you, to then, once you have decided what you want, to then give your undivided attention to what you want. And undivided takes on a whole new meaning here today, doesn't it? Your undivided attention, meaning your attention undivided or same as the attention that the source within you is giving. When you look at someone and you see a flaw in them, you find fault with them, you see them as inappropriate in some way, you step away from who you really are because the source within you will not do that, not ever, not one time ever. Every particle of negative emotion that you feel is because you have found a vibrational stance or attitude or opinion or mood or belief, an active vibration, that's all that stuff is, an active vibration that disagrees with the active vibration of the source within you. So, I'm not enough always disagrees because source knows who you are. You're not enough always disagrees because source knows who you are. You are bad, you are wrong, you are inappropriate. Always causes a distortion or a separation between you and you because source is not making those judgments. There is an inside the vortex source that is the love and the culmination of all that has become. And we so want to find a way of you finding the resonance with that within you. can't you think of holding someone, usually someone precious to you, usually someone young, like a baby or a dog, someone that you were holding with adoration? In other words, that person has not yet cheated you, deceived you, mocked you, blamed you, or bitten you. And so, as you focus upon the positive aspects of this, you resonate with the positive aspects that the source within you feels. As humans, often, you want to sort behavior and people and beliefs and attitudes and desires into piles of right and wrong, and then you want to praise some piles while you condemn others. And what we want you to understand is that any pile you're praising causes source to be there with you. But any pile you're condemning causes you to deviate from source. Source will not join you in negative judgment or in pushing against anything unwanted, because source understands the way the universe works. Source understands that when you know what you don't want, an equal and equivalent desire is born. And source gives its undivided attention to that. That's why there is an eternal expansion and evolution of all things. If you could become so convincing that you could get source to come and join you in your negative contemplation, then there would be no source and there would be no eternity. Now, don't worry about it. It cannot happen. Non-physical energy is too smart for that. Sometimes humans say, well, that's not the story I heard about God. I heard that he holds very strict standards. We say, yeah, there's a lot of confusion about what those standards are, isn't there? You're killing each other all day, every day over your discontent or non-agreement about what you think God thinks you should do. But you say, no, the God that I've heard about holds very strict, very, very strict rules. And when I keep those rules, I am loved by God. But when I break those rules, then I receive the wrath of God. Then I am condemned by God. And we say, that is a God that man has fashioned when he was outside of the vortex. Because we promise you that that which is source, that which is the source of you, and that which is the source of all that you know, is a pure, positive energy, expanding force, evolving because of the asking that is constantly taking place on the leading edge of creation. It's a wonderful thing to realize who you are. And you know, you can figure it out personally. You don't have to take anybody else's word for it. Just get out there and do your own personal testing of who you are and who God is. Put this conversation that we've given you here to your own personal laboratory test. Find someone and focus upon the positive aspects of that person and maintain your attention to that until you feel the swelling and the fulfilling and the becoming of that broader energy. Feel what it feels like when the energy that creates worlds flows with agreement through you toward your object of attention. And then find something that you think is unjust. Find something that you think is inappropriate. Poke at it with a stick. Focus on it for a while. Bring yourself to a place of discontent and anger and frustration. Get into an attitude of real wrongdoing about it. And feel the emptiness of your being that is what is expressed through the negative emotions that you call depression or fear or anger or resentment or rebellion. Feel that emotion and ask yourself, does this feel like I'm filled up with the energy of source? Or have I managed to empty myself out by choosing something so contrary to that which source is that I've pinched myself off temporarily from that energy stream? So when you become acquainted consciously and deliberately with the guidance system that you are born with, when you start paying attention to the vibrational frequencies of harmony and allowing and alignment and blending, or of resistance and discord, the vibrational beingness of you became more prosperous every time you felt not enough of something that you wanted or needed. So this vibrational aspect of you has already become more, and the emotion that you feel is completely and only about how well you're keeping up with your expansion or not.